Many believe that Middle-earth is the entire world where the events of Tolkien's books take place. However, it is actually just a small fragment of a vast universe that the professor spent his entire life creating. In the Silmarillion, the creation of this world, bound by time, is described in detail. Tolkien called it Ea, a term that refers to the entire created material universe. Even within this universe, Middle-earth is merely a tiny patch of land in the larger world known as Arda. In the Silmarillion's index, Arda is described as the kingdom, meaning the earth as the realm of the Valar Manwe. Manwe is one of the angelic guardians known as the Valar. Essentially, they stand in opposition to dark spiritual beings like Sauron and Morgoth. Originally, the Valar existed outside time and space, and first beheld Arda after its creation by Eru Ilúvatar. In the text, the world is depicted as a physical phenomenon, a vibrant and colorful expanse of iron, stone, silver, and gold. Water, in particular, is highlighted as something special. Arda is portrayed in different ways. For instance, unmarred Arda is essentially an Edenic garden, the world as it was right after its creation. It consisted of a single continent, which included Middle-earth, before wars and conflicts brought its ruin, resulting in marred Arda. There is also healed Arda, a prophetic vision of the world's restoration at the end of time. Beyond Arda lie celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, and the stars, each of which has its own origin story and purpose in Tolkien's Legendarium. In this video, I invite you to explore the distant, secret, and hidden corners of Tolkien's imagined world to discover what lies beyond the familiar lands of Middle-earth. While Ea is the known universe, and Arda encompasses the broader world known and loved by Tolkien's fans, there are many unique landmasses and bodies of water surrounding the continent where most of the stories take place. The most famous of these is called Aman. Fans will likely recognize this continent by its more popular names, the Blessed Realm or the Undying Lands. The Blessed Realm and the Undying Lands refer to the continent as a whole, located directly west of Middle-earth, across the vast ocean. Valinor, strictly speaking, is a region within this western continent, inhabited by the Ainur, the immortal spirits known as the Maiar and Valar. Aman and Middle-earth are the two continents most frequently mentioned in Tolkien's works, but they are not the only landmasses in Arda. On some maps, especially early ones, a continent in the east is also depicted. In the shaping of Middle-earth, Tolkien describes this landmass, saying, "Beyond the eastern sea lies the eastern land, of which we know little, and we call it the Land of the Sun." This scorched Land of the Sun, also known as the Eastern Lands, was a barren region east of Middle-earth, where the sun would rise at dawn. Little is known about its geography, except for the presence of an arc-shaped mountain range called the Walls of the Sun, which mirrors the Pelori Mountains of Aman. The Númenóreans may have visited it during their sea voyages to the far east of Arda in the middle of the Second Age. In Akalabeith, the Silmarillion, it is mentioned that they even saw the Gates of the Morning in the east. Fun fact, in the 1984 tabletop game, Middle-earth Role-Playing, the Sindarin name for this land is Romenor, the Eastern Kingdom, though it is not mentioned in any of Tolkien's writings. Farther to the southeast of Middle-earth lies an even lesser-known continent called the Darkland. The Darkland, also known as the Southern Land, was a continent located to the southeast of where the events of the Silmarillion and the Lord of the Rings took place. Little is known about its geographical features, but it is believed that several mountain ranges may have run through it, including the Yellow Mountains. The Darkland was formed as a side effect of the War of the Powers, in which the Valar overthrew Melkor in his original fortress of Utumno. Originally, Middle-earth was a single landmass situated between the Western Sea and the Eastern Sea. This changed during the war when the inland sea of Ringil, which was initially landlocked and located in the south of Middle-earth, expanded and became a Great Sea, connecting the Western and Eastern Seas through straits. This event split Middle-earth into two landmasses. The landmass to the south and east of Middle-earth became known as the Darkland. No settlements in the Darkland have ever been described. The Númenóreans may have visited it during their long voyages eastward, though it is unknown whether they ever established colonies or even minor settlements there. Still, it's fascinating to think about how this idea could be expanded. Perhaps a surviving branch of Númenórean settlers, akin to the Dúnedain of Gondor, could have thrived there. Although little is known about continents like the Darkland or the Land of the Sun, there are other regions on and around the continent of Middle-earth that Tolkien described in more detail, including the realms of Rhûn, Khand, and Harad. Rhûn lies in the eastern part of the continent, home to many human tribes and dwarven clans. While warriors from Rhûn fight in Sauron's armies in The Lord of the Rings, the land itself remains a mystery, as Tolkien revealed very little about it. However, in the second season of Amazon's series, The Rings of Power, some unanswered questions about the region of Rhûn were addressed. Still, this portrayal is not considered canon. Going back in time, it was in these distant eastern regions of the continent that the races of elves and men first awoke and began their migration westward, making Rhûn incredibly significant in the history of the world. Khand is another region at the edge of the classic map of Middle-earth, located southeast of Mordor. Its characteristics are similar to those of nearby Rhûn. The people of Khand also served in Sauron's armies during the War of the Ring, though very little is known about their culture. There is also Harad, meaning south. This region is located at the lower part of the familiar map of Middle-earth. It is depicted as another union of various human kingdoms and tribes. Some of these lands were inhabited by native people, while others were ruled by the Númenóreans, the ancestors of the men who settled Gondor. In the Silmarillion, it is explained that the Númenóreans sailed along the entire coastline of Middle-earth, establishing settlements. To the north, south, and east, Middle-earth may be surrounded by land, but its western border is a continuous coastline. This vast body of water is called the Belegare. It was the ocean where the island of Númenor once existed during the Second Age, and the sea through which the elves make their sacred voyages to the Undying Lands. There are other bodies of water surrounding Middle-earth, even if they do not directly touch it. For example, the Sea of Ringil separates Middle-earth from the Dark Land to the south. The Eastern Sea, as its name suggests, lies between Middle-earth and the Land of the Sun. Then there is the Encircling Sea, known to the elves as Ikaya. This vast ocean surrounds all of Arda. In the Silmarillion, this distant water barrier is described as, "None know how wide this sea is, save the Valar, and beyond it lie the walls of night." Middle-earth underwent significant changes throughout its history, and even during Tolkien's lifetime, early in his creative process, J.R.R. Tolkien envisioned Middle-earth as a flat world shaped like a ship, floating on water. Over time, this idea evolved into the canonical version, where the world began as a single landmass, but eventually split into different continents. Depending on which version of the story you read, Tolkien wrote countless variations, many of which were compiled and posthumously published by his son Christopher. Middle-earth is either near our real Earth or directly mirrors it. The most significant change to the world surrounding Middle-earth occurred at the end of the Second Age, when Numenor sank beneath the sea. When this happened, the Silmarillion explains that the Undying Lands were removed from the circles of the world, which then bent into a round shape with new lands, possibly a nod to the continents of North and South America. From that moment on, the world became a closed space through which mortals could roam, now separated from the Blessed Realm, which only the elves could still reach. As you can see, Tolkien's imagined world is far from limited to Middle-earth alone. While it is undoubtedly the central stage of his legendarium, it is only part of the vast, intricate world he created. And that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to me. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.